Good day riders, welcome back to another road test, and today we finally get the helmet we've been waiting for a long time, the brand new X804 RS Ultra Carbon, made by Nolan. Will it be as good as the X-Lite X803 RS? We've sent our test rider on his way and he came back with lots of interesting data, so stay tuned. Welcome everyone, I'm Tom from Champion Helmets. Now, what can you expect when buying this helmet? Nolan describes it as follows: unmatched strength, unparalleled safety, ultimate comfort, feather light and aerodynamic finesse. Sounds great, let's see how those claims hold up in our tests. Before we start, first a few things in general. The X804 is made for the sport bike rider and track day enthusiast. It has a recommended retail price of €800, which is €200 more than its predecessor, the X803. It has a medium oval fit and comes with a double D closure. It has some pretty cool features that we will talk about more later. It will compete against the HEV Pista GP-RR, the HSA Arva 1, the Bell Raystar Flex DLX, the Shoei XSPA Pro and other high-end racing helmets. Let's start off with the material. Alright, we're going to kick things off in this segment by looking at two things to come to a material score. First, we'll look at what material the outer shell is made of. Here, helmets earn stars depending on the quality of the material. Then second, we look at the amount of outer shell sizes, and the more outer shell sizes a helmet has, the better. This avoids a big bulky shell, and tightly fitting outer shell will always look nicer and compact around the head. Now that we know how helmets can earn stars, let's look at the results. The X804 is made of carbon and is available in 4 outer shell sizes, which is more than most of its competitors. Simply an excellent result, and the X804 gets 4.5 stars for material. That's a great start. Let's see if you can keep this up on weight. The weight of a helmet is important as it reduces the strain on your neck, and this is something that you might not be worried about when talking about shorter trips, but on extended rides you will definitely notice a difference between a light and a heavy helmet. We measure the weight of all the helmets we test by placing them on the same scale in the size M. Our scale is accurate to the gram, and when we weigh the helmets without any additional features like a communication system. When we weigh the X804, our scale showed a weight of 1462 grams, a decent result that places near the middle of the list, and there are some models that manage to be a bit lighter. It's a tiny bit heavier than the X803, but that's something we've noticed with a lot of new ECE 2206 helmets, as a much stricter testing requires manufacturers to use more material to reach the required strength, thus making the helmets a bit heavier. We've arrived at our visor segment, where we'll be judging the visor characteristics according to our visor matrix. To name a few examples, we look at the field of vision, if the visor is pinlock lens ready, and if that pinlock lens is included in the box, and if there's an additional smoke visor in the box. We have a good look at the quality of the visor mechanism and some other points. Let's see what the X804 has to offer. First off, the X804 comes with an additional smoke visor that's included in the box, which is a great plus. Furthermore, it's prepared for a pinlock lens that's also included in the box. The visor itself is a great field of vision and it's attached with a quality visor mechanism that holds the visor in about 7 different positions. It's also got a button that locks the visor shut, which might be useful on track days. The handling of the visor with gloves could be slightly better, but still very decent. Additionally, much like with the previous X803, it's very easy to remove this visor. It's got 2 screws on the side that you can undo by hand, allowing you to replace the visor in no time. The X804 earns 4 stars for the visor. A very solid result. Let's continue to our road test segments, starting with noise isolation. So I've given the X804 to our test rider and he came back with lots of interesting data. Let's discuss the noise isolation of this helmet first. To measure this, we've placed a decibel meter close to our test rider's ear and this records the sound the same way as he hears it. Then, we ride on long stretches of open highway to see how quiet this helmet really is. I have to mention that most racing helmets are actually pretty loud inside. This is because most racers wear earplugs out on track and therefore don't need a quiet helmet. But at the same time, in practice we see that these helmets are very often worn outside of the track as well and used as a street helmet, and then it becomes more of a thing. During our road test, the X804 had an average measurement of around 100 decibels, which is a decent performance, especially for race helmets. It's a total of 5 decibels quieter than its predecessor, so Nolan made some effective improvements here. So, while this used to be a weakness for the 803, the X804 places itself near the top of the list this time around, right below the XSPA Pro. Well done to Nolan. That's it for noise isolation, let's continue to ventilation. Alright, let's see what the X804 has in store for ventilation. Unlike noise isolation, ventilation is a strong suit for most racing helmets. We measure the ventilation by placing a thermometer inside the helmet to measure the temperature. At the same time, we keep track of the outside temperature and then we compare the two, and the smaller the difference, the more stars a helmet earns. Before we jump in, first a quick look at the vents of this helmet. The X804 is fitted with these two winged vents at the top that can either be closed or open, and then below them is an adjustable brow vent with two rather large air intakes. Moving down, we notice that the chin ventilation is pretty limited compared to other racing helmets. The chin vent features two air intakes that are also adjustable. That's really it for the air intakes. Let's see how warm air leaves the helmet. Next to the chin vents are two openings that funnel warm air out of the front of the helmet, similar to the side exhaust on the Arva 12 and Arva 1. Additionally, it is a larger exhaust on the back of the helmet with two openings above it as well. Plenty of ways for warm air to flow out. Let's see how this helmet performed in our test. The inside of the helmet was only 0.5 degrees hotter than the outside temperature. Most of the competition was able to keep the temperature difference all the way down at 0, but this is still a great result and means that the ventilation channels of the X804 are perfectly capable of keeping your head cool. That's it for ventilation, let's move on to comfort. Okay, so far we've tested different criteria, but is this helmet comfortable to wear? And that's what we will discuss in this segment. Though judging the comfort of a helmet does present a challenge for us, as it's hard to express the comfort of a helmet in concrete numbers. Therefore, for this part only, we rely on the more than 17 years of riding experience of our test rider, who has also tested the other helmets on this channel, and because of this he can make a comparison like no other. But first, let's look at the comfort features this helmet comes with. The bright green padding inside is soft and grippy to the face, and the thickness of the cheek padding is adjustable. And you can use this feature to adjust the padding to the shape of your head, or to create some room to comfortably wear glasses. All in all, the X804 earns a solid 4 stars for comfort. No complaints there. Let's move on to our final segment, features. In this segment, we'll go over all the bells and whistles the X804 is equipped with. And here we follow our features matrix, and this matrix is filled with all kinds of features that will improve your riding experience. But naturally, not every single feature has the same amount of impact, therefore we've weighted these features based on what riders ask us about the most. Let's see how the X804 performed. In all honesty, this helmet is pretty bare bones features wise. First, let's talk about the features it does have. It has a quick release inner liner, which is always a great plus, and the padding inside is very adjustable like we just mentioned. And that makes this helmet glasses friendly. Furthermore, it's ECE 6 certified and the helmet is wind tunnel tested, adding to the overall riding experience. However, this helmet does not have speaker pockets, which means that getting a communication system in there is a bit more of a hassle compared to the other racing helmets. Also, this helmet is not FIM certified, which is something you don't often see in race helmets of this price range. Lots of racetracks and racing competitions require you to wear an FIM certified helmet out on track, making it a thing for this helmet. All in all, the X804 earns a pretty underwhelming 2.5 stars for its features. Let's continue to our final conclusion. Alright, we've run all of our tests. Let's briefly summarize the results of the X804. It started off very strong on material, where it earned 4.5 stars with its carbon fiber outer shell and 4 outer shell sizes. Then, it also did well on weight, and our scale indicated a weight of 1462 grams, for which the X804 earned 3 stars. Moving on to our visor segment, where its pinlock ready visor, a wide field of vision and an additional smoke visor in the box earned it a solid 4 stars. Definitely a good start for the X804. After our visor segment came the road test, where it managed an average decibel measurement of around 100 decibels. This is a great step forward from its predecessor, and with this result it earns 4 stars. Moving on to ventilation. Here the 6 air intakes of the X804 managed a temperature difference of plus 0.5 Celsius, another great result. Finally, it earned 4 stars for comfort. Our test rider noted that the helmet felt pretty much the same as the X803, which is a good thing. Then, in our final segment, features, it earned a somewhat disappointing 2.5 stars due to it lacking an FIM certification and any preparation for a communication system at all. The X804 earned an average of 3.6 stars, for which you pay around 31 euros per star. In conclusion, this helmet series remains to be rather expensive, but it did hold its own throughout our testing. It wasn't the highest scorer, but if you're a fan of this series, the X804 is a big step forward. So, now that we've gone through all of our tests, how did the X804 RS Ultra Carbon do? Did it hold up to the claims Nolan made? Well, the claims Nolan made were a bit extreme, but this helmet is a big step forward compared to its predecessor, particularly in the road test segments where the X804 performed much better. However, it did show weakness on features, but apart from that, it had a strong showing all round. The main hindrance of this helmet is its enormous price tag of 800 euros. With this price, helmets need to have some seriously good results to make it appealing. In this case, the X804 really struggled to meet those expectations. Alright, that concludes this review. Our work here is done. Time for you guys to let us know what you think about this helmet in the comments. And don't forget that the Nolan X804 is available at championhelmets.com for the lowest price guarantee, and we also have very sharp discount bundles. If you liked the video, then of course leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this in your feed. Buy smart, ride safe, and until next time.